Speaking of masks, Donald Trump, who just so happens actually to be the president of the U.S., I don't know if you knew this, but he just so happened to finally wear a mask, actually. We caught him on video. Yes, out in the wild. He finally put on a mask. Isn't that amazing? Such bravery. Look, let me show you. He was visiting a military hospital, and he finally put on a mask, like 6 months, 7 months into a pandemic. Finally. Wow, look at him. Look at him. Amazing. Someone in his entourage said it looks like the Reservoir Dogs intro. No, actually, they said it's the most badass thing since Reservoir Dogs. Now look, I'm no acquaintance of Tarantino, but I'm sure that he would beg to differ. Okay. What is so spectacular about this? Like, why do they have to make a giant photo op out of it? He put on a mask. So what? This is non-news. But unfortunately, it is news because, the so-called, as they say, the Americans, the leader of the free world, whatever that means, finally decided to put on a mask, right? So apparently it is news. And, I think I encapsulated my sentiment quite adequately in a tweet. Let me show you this tweet. Only in the United States could wearing a mask during a pandemic become a political position. And indeed, that's the case, because it's not just Trump, it's not just Pence. Remember when Pence was visiting the Mayo Clinic and he also cooked up a stink because the idiot refuses to wear a mask? And it's not just them, man. It's, what's her name? The white supremacist bitch, Lauren Ingraham or something. And then Tucker Carlson. I mean, all of them talking about this as if there's some kind of political affiliation associated with wearing a mask to prevent yourself from being infected or infecting others. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is unbelievable stupidity. It really is. It's ignorance. I have no... I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. This country that claims to be the most advanced, most civilized, the greatest country in the world, they can't even put on a mask without whining like a bunch of babies? No. This is unacceptable. This is ridiculous. It's also funny watching them change their positions, right? Because, Trump, he now, on the way to the military hospital, he says that I've never been against masks. What are you talking about, right? The denial of their ignorance. It's really astounding. Take a look.
No, I'll probably have a mask. I think when you're in a hospital, especially in that particular setting where you're talking to a lot of soldiers and people that in some cases just got off the operating tables, I think it's a great thing to wear a mask. I've never been against masks, but I do believe they have a time and a place.
Yeah, like a pandemic? I think that's a time and a place. You don't seem to agree? No? Damn. Crazy. I could have sworn that he was not the biggest proponent of masks. Matter of fact, somebody was kind enough to jog my memory. Take a look.
I think it's a great thing to wear a mask. I've never been against masks.
I couldn't hear you. Can you take it off because I cannot hear you?
I'll just speak louder, sir.
Oh, okay, good. You want to be politically correct. Go ahead.
No, sir, I just want to wear the mask.
Go ahead.
You hear that, man? Wearing a mask is politically correct. Oh, the travesty. Oh. These Democrats taking away our freedom. What is wrong? What is wrong with these people? Look here she is, the racist cow. Look.
Those are nice people. Was Chris Cuomo wearing a mask out on the Hamptons the other week? Oh, maybe. Well, by the way, they'll say this whole mask thing is settled science, just like they do with climate change. Of course, it's not. And they know it. Our own experts have gone from...
No, bitch. It's settled science. We know it, but you don't. Oh my God. This is a journalist. She's a broadcaster on national TV. Oh boy. No wonder you're in trouble. Oh no.
From masks aren't necessary to masks are essential. You have to wear them when you go jogging in just a few weeks' time. Now, Rush Limbaugh made a great point, as he always does, on the...
No. Rush Limbaugh has never made any good points in the history of points. Be quiet. And of course, I mean, I don't need to show you the clips of Tucker Carlson. You already know what a nut job he is. Jimmy Dore actually did a great video about 2-3 weeks ago talking about Dr. Fauci and how he was lying. You see, they thought that it was a brilliant idea to tell people that masks are not effective. Because, I don't know why. There is no because. There should never be a because. Because they were scared the masks were in low supply, right? So they didn't want people going out and buying a bunch of masks and then leaving healthcare providers, doctors, nurses, people who work in medical departments to be left without PPE, right? So they came out and lied and said, yeah, well, the masks are ineffective. Why would you say that? Oh my God. Why would you say that? So now, you have a bunch of morons like this who are claiming that it's a political stunt, right? That the Democrats are lying because they changed their position. They flip-flopped. So effectively, what you have at the end of the day is a band of idiots who are causing the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people because they are corrupt and they are liars. Yes? It's rather unfortunate. And, what I would highlight, unfortunately, not a lot of people reported on this, but one of the reasons that these masks were in low supply, yes, it's not just because the government failed to stockpile. That's one reason. It's not just because Trump disbanded the entire team that were responsible for pandemic responses. It's not just that. They were bringing in PPE. I covered this. They were bringing in by the plane load from China, right? And then they would let states engage in bidding wars with each other. So I'm not kidding. You had states within the US bidding against each other about who would receive the medical equipment. And if it just so happens that you had more money than these states, whether you're an individual or I don't know who you're representing, if you had more money, if you were the highest bidder, you got the masks, even if you were outside the US. So, their primary concern wasn't making sure that the United States, hospitals, doctors, nurses in the US have enough equipment, PPE. No. It was like, let's see how we can make money. Let the states fight each other for scraps. And if somebody richer comes along, we'll give it to them, even if they're outside the US. So screw the population. Screw the doctors. Screw the healthcare workers. No. We want to make money. And, this whole racket was being run by Jared Kushner. And I mean, it's insane. It's insane. I can't believe that this did not make national headlines. They were selling the masks off to the highest bidder. I don't understand how no one reported on this. I mean, this is one of the most preposterous rackets I've ever heard of. Really. Selling medical equipment off to the highest bidder during a pandemic. Unbelievable. It's like some dystopian movie. It's crazy. So, that's one of the reasons why these masks were in low supply. And so, instead of telling you to make your own mask, just, take some cloth. It's already going to be way more effective than no mask and no covering. No. They just lied. They said, don't wear a mask. You don't need one. And so now you have this climate within the United States where wearing a mask is suddenly a political position. And this is why most of Europe, most of the world has gone back to normal, more or less, right? Have truly reopened after 1 or 2 months of quarantine and lockdown. Meanwhile, the United States never locked down, never had a quarantine, and now they have 25% of the world's cases, spiking new records every day. And what does Disneyland do? They come along and reopen. I mean, Jesus Christ, this is just... This is what an empire in decline looks like. Okay? Remember these words.